and welcome back to Greedy and Gorgeous. Today we will be making, wait. Don't get fooled by the donut shirt. We are not making donuts today. We will actually be making none other than my infamous shrimp and grits. Woo! So first we're gonna start off by prepping our station. We have some lovely delicious shrimp over here, onion salt, some smoked paprika, garlic powder, because who doesn't love garlic minced, salt and pepper, and then we'll be working with these greens, and we have our grits right over there. So first we're going to season our shrimp. We're going to use some of these seasonings over here. I'm going to use a little bit of the salt and pepper, just sprinkle that all over. Then some of that onion salt. I think I'm going to use about 2 or 3 pinches of that. Some of that smoked paprika for that nice smoked flavor. It'll also give our lemon butter sauce a nice red color. Some garlic powder, because why not? And we'll add this to the pan while we're cooking them. I'm just going to give them a nice little stir, and I might just add a little bit more of that. Those seasonings just to cover all the shrimp. I think my favorite thing about shrimp and grits was eating them in New Orleans when I grew up there. They always had a nice Cajun, kind of like smoky flavor, a little salty, but also with a touch of lemon. That's how I remember them. So I wanted to do my own rendition. So now we're just gonna let that soak in, let the juices meld in, and then first we're gonna make the grits. So I'm gonna start by heating up my pan to medium heat, and I'm gonna add 2 cups of heavy cream. This is one of my secrets. Don't let the grits box fool you. It's actually better to use half heavy cream and half water. So first I like to use 2 cups of heavy cream. Now that we have our heavy whipping cream in the pan, I'm going to just add another 2 cups of water. I think the heavy whipping cream really adds a creamy texture to the grits. It's a nice little secret that I learned growing up when my mom would make her grits. So I'm just going to let that come to a boil, and then we'll add the grits to it when it's ready. I like to leave a little opening on my pan so I know exactly, so it doesn't overboil and it doesn't come like exploding everywhere. So I leave like a little crack. And now while we're waiting on that, I'll start the greens. Let's get this pan nice and hot. We'll add about a tablespoon of butter. Do you all like kale? I love kale, especially when it's like stewed and cooked and it has like all that garlicky flavor. Seasoned very well. The only downside about using other types of greens like collard greens and mustard greens, they kind of take a little while to cook, but I like these for my quick greens fix. So I like to do these like on the fly really quick. So now we're just gonna add the kale greens to our melted butter. I can hear the sizzle of a pan. I love using kale for my greens too because it has lots of that bitter flavor to cut the juiciness and the creaminess of the grits. And it also has a lot of great health benefits. It's really good for detoxing the body, also keeping you pretty regular. And now that the kale has softened a little bit, I'm going to add some garlic powder, just a tiny bit of the smoked paprika, and of course some salt and pepper. And I'm just sauteing this until it wilts down a little bit. And then I'm going to keep it at a low simmer, just while our grits are cooking. Milk and cream and water mixture is coming up to a boil. So what's you all's favorite family recipe? Comment down below. Do you all have a family recipe that you grew up eating, that you love to eat? Okay, so I think the kale is done. I'm just gonna put this to the side and then we'll start cooking our shrimp. To the pan, put it on medium, low heat. I think that's my favorite part of cooking, the sizzle sound, and also eating the food after it's done cooking. I just love the smell of the shrimp because it has those garlicky and smoked flavors, and we'll add another smoky flavor when we make the grits. I'm so excited about the grits. So I'm gonna add 1 cup of grits. That is about 4 servings. So I'm gonna add that now. And turn down my heat. And stir it in. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. And a little bit of garlic powder. Stir it up again. And I'm gonna let that cook as well as reduce down. And I'm just gonna turn it to a low heat. Let's check on these shrimp. Let's see how they're doing. Looks like they're getting pretty pink on the other side. One thing you don't want to do is overcook your shrimp. No one likes rubbery shrimp, you know? We want our shrimp to be tender and juicy. So I like to just always keep an eye on my shrimp when I'm cooking it and make sure that they don't get overcooked. Also, if you ever want to make sure, if you're never sure, like when your shrimp is cooked, you can always use a thermometer. And usually fish is cooked to 145 degrees Fahrenheit. So you want to make sure shrimp is cooked to there. And I'm also going to add a little bit of lemon juice as well as that minced garlic we had earlier to make a nice lemon butter sauce for the shrimp. I'm going to do 1 whole lemon and just squeeze that over the shrimp. And now I'm going to add the garlic. I didn't want to add the garlic too early because sometimes garlic, when you mince it, it can burn in the pan. So now just letting that simmer and check on these grits. They're still boiling pretty well. So once those grits come down to a simmer, we're going to add the secret ingredient I like to add to my grits to impart a very smoky, almost like bacon flavor. Can you guys guess what it is? Okay, now that we've been waiting for a while, I'm just gonna do a quick stir of our grits. It looks like they're getting nice and creamy right now. I'm so excited about the flavor we're about to take on. So now I think our shrimp are done. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more butter because who doesn't love butter? And to make our nice, creamy, buttery lemon sauce. And I think I'm going to do a quick taste of the sauce just to make sure it's seasoned. Perfect. So now that that's done, I'm just going to put that to the side. Check on our grits. It looks like they're doing really well. They're almost done cooking. And I'm also going to add a little bit of butter to them as well. So I'm adding about a tablespoon of butter and just stirring that up. And now, to impart the real flavor, I'm gonna add my secret ingredient. Did I forget to mention the wine? You need to have wine while you're cooking. It's very important. So I'm just gonna take a swig of that. Delicious. And now I'm just gonna re-season my grits. A little bit more of salt and pepper, a little bit more of the garlic, and now we're gonna add the secret ingredient I'm so excited about, smoked gouda. Smoked gouda cheese adds a nice flavor, almost like bacon, but without the pork. And we're just gonna stir that in. Smoked gouda was one of the first cheeses I got hooked on. Like when I went to culinary school, it was one of the first cheeses like we had on the cheese plate. And it was so delicious to me because it had like a nice smoky flavor, but also didn't really have like that bite. It had like a nice texture to it. It was velvety, smooth. I like to add about 3 handfuls which is about 2.5 cups, to really impart that smoky flavor. Now, the most important part, I'm gonna taste it. Let's see how these grits are tasting. Oh my goodness, delicious with the flavors of garlic. The smoky gouda really imparts that smoky flavor that I was looking for. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial of my version of shrimp and grits. Please stay tuned for the finished plate. Hope you all enjoyed watching this tutorial of my version of shrimp and grits with a lemony, garlicky, buttery sauce and my secret ingredient for the grits, which is a smoked Gouda cheese, and of course, simple but delicious kale greens. Take care and continue being greedy. See you next time.